Hey there! Nice to see you! This space is a ukulele space. As you may know, I'm Ben, and I do this channel. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about all my ukuleles. Well, not talk about them, because that would last forever, but I'm going to present them anyway. And what you can do too, if you feel like you want to get involved, you can also talk about your ukuleles in the description of this video. So this can be like the relaxed tea or coffee place where people talk about their 4-stringers or 8-stringers, as if I find it again. In no particular order, just in the order that I grab them. And we're starting with a baritone. What? Why? Well, we're starting with the biggest one that I have. If you don't count the bass ones. This baritone has 4 strings. Is lovely, and it's an Oscar Schmidt, which is an American company, and it's with, I think, what is called a Venetian cutout, the very spiky one, and it looks great. It's very wide. When you hold it, you feel like you are holding very much the baritone of ukuleles, because it is one. Next up, it's a little smaller. This is the Sopranino. And the Sopranino, as the name suggests, is tiny. This one is from Kaiki, and this is about $60, 50 euros. And I like the fact there's a turtle. I don't know if you can see. There's a turtle there. Hi. So it's nice. There you are. Sometimes musical inspiration is like a turtle. It needs to come out of its shell, which this ukulele can sort of help you, but it's doesn't sound amazing. But it's very practical if you have a tiny backpack. Oh, this one is one of the new ones, and it's from Portugal. It is made in Portugal. It's one of the few ones that is made in Europe, and this one is made of oak. So not as much clarity maybe as mahogany, but it's got a lovely sound, a reliable ukulele. That everything's in tune, sounds good, and is solid. This one is one of my favorite ones, but what happened to the strings? Well, actually, I took all of the frets off to see what would happen, and I put new frets back in for the first time. This is a ukulele that I actually bought on the website called Banggood. It's made in China, and it doesn't have a brand here, but I can probably find the link and put it in the description later on. And I can't show you how it sounds, but it was my favorite. That's why I got so frustrated that there was a little buzz, probably on C2, maybe E2. On the notes. So I decided to take all the frets away and then to put them back. It's kind of, I tried to adjust the fret, it got out of hand. It turned into a big change. But hopefully you can hear this one with strings at some point. Okay, next up, in no particular order, this Bondi Ukuleles Ripple series. It's a soprano, which means it's quite small, and it's all solid koa. It's the only all solid koa soprano that I have. I'm not sure you need 2 all solids, so blah blah. But anyway, one is great. I've got a little problem with a buzz on a certain fret, so I've changed this little piece of bone to another, which I was hoping was a bit higher, and I've changed this too, just to see if the sound would be different, because I ordered a few, so I'm just trying out different elements and different element changes to see what happens. I love the design of this one. Lots of seashells. And here we go. This is an Irin. This is one of my favorite designs. I used this in the blues series where I taught you the blues. But unfortunately, I also had a buzz on a certain string. Oh, it's gone. It's gone. Oh, that's great news. Well, this is one of my favorite ones just because it's so simple and it's got a beautiful flower design. And I got it from Banggood too, online. And I think there's some versions that you can buy from Amazon or something like this. Double check the links that I may have put in the description. Okay, now the ones that are hanging up here. Here's another made in Portugal ukulele. This one was my first reaction. Doesn't have a face. Or does it? Yeah, it has a sound hole on the side. And is all koa. And it sounds really nice. It's also made by the Portuguese company APC, which are actually the initials of the guy, the head dude. Oh, what's this? It's a pineapple. Very special, very beautiful. It's all solid, and it's got a very glossy finish that you can see. This one is from a brand called, can't remember, something Sun, Sunny Delight, Bright Sun. There we go. Whoops. And I don't like it. It looks great, but as soon as you hold it, like against your body, the whole ukulele stops vibrating. So that's a bit annoying. Maybe with a strap you get much more resonance. That's the thing with solid woods, is that sometimes if you're used to, like me, holding them really close against your body, the smaller ones won't sound quite as great because the wood, there's not that much of it in sopranos and it needs a bit of space to vibrate. If you hold the wood down, less vibration of the wood, less resonance. But I mean, it's really nice. Good job them. It looks lovely. Now this is something that I haven't taken the time to plug in, but it's my Risa. There's many videos about it. Oh, the light went out. You can check it out in the blues videos, in the video where I unbox it. I love it a lot. It's based on the Telecaster model by Fender, the old one. Although it is a double coil here instead of 2 single coils like the original Fenders. But that's great because you get a better sound balance and a better contrast between the sounds that you want. I love this. I recommend it a lot. To plug it in an amp. Don't buy just this, obviously. That's a waste. Here's a ukulele you may not have seen in videos. I didn't know it was going to be dark green. I thought it was going to be a slightly different color. And I also got this ukulele from Banggood, which is the Chinese website. And you have to wait a long time for them to arrive. But then they do arrive. But if you have an issue with them, if there's a buzz or something, as it has happened to me, not with this one though, then you're kind of stuck with it and you have to fix it, or they just kind of sit there. But this one is nice. I wasn't a big fan of the sound, which I found was a bit muffled compared to the one that arrived at the same time that I showed to you earlier, this tenor over here. And this is a concert. But it's got a nice headstock going on with the pegs pointing backwards. That's a nice touch. Wait, now I've actually got 2 of these. Another one's on the wall here, but you don't need to see twice the same thing. This is really nice because it was very affordable, around 50 euros or $60. And it's got this very unique design that really stands out, and this sound hole over here at the top. But it's much lighter than the Portuguese one, considering sideways side holes. This is mahogany, so it's very bright, especially with these sugar strings by Aquila that I added. Oh, and this one you may recognize because it's spalted maple and it reflects the light a lot because it's very glossy and it doesn't have strings at the moment. I'm in the process of changing the frets, which I'm going to do probably at some point, and then obviously adding new strings. And I like it a lot, but I did have a buzz at one point so that's why I started this whole process a bit like on the other one. I'm trying to fix it myself, and I think it's going to work fine because actually I've got new headstock nut. I said my Baritone at the very beginning was the biggest ukulele that I have. This one is a close second. It's a bass ukulele that I also got from the website Banggood, and there's lots of different versions. Also on Amazon, it seems like it was mass-produced in China. It's got quite a nice handy system where you can control the bass, middle, the treble, very much like on a lot of devices that we have on all the ones that you can plug in. So this one you can actually plug in as an XLR or as a normal, oh, let me show you, jack. Over here, put the battery in here, and off you go. You've got a fretless bass ukulele that looks really great. So this is one of the best looking ones because it just looks very cool. It's sober. I like the sober ones, a bit like the way that the Portuguese build them down there. Okay, over here I've got another Portuguese one. This one is quite long but very thin. And it's got an amazing projection of sound for the type of ukulele that it is, meaning a slim ukulele, half the width over here. It looks quite nice. Each design will be different though. French people have pointed that out to me as I was making a video presenting this. So you won't have the same pattern of the wood on each one of them. They're all unique because they're made of solid wood completely. And they just take the slices of wood that they have, or that they prepare, and they all look different, of course. No 2 trees are the same. Oh, this is a little soprano with some grapes. Now this has been a very popular pattern lately. Took the ukulele world by storm, it seems, because I've seen it also in through Zoom at a few of my students' homes. And it's very nice. That's why I got it. I thought it looked good, but I don't play it a lot because it's a little wide. I'm very difficult. It's a little wide for me, for a soprano. But also the reason is that in my tutorials and videos, I don't use sopranos that much because it's just smaller. So for the camera, I like to have something slightly bigger, like a concert or a tenor. This one I like a lot. The design is something else. I get a bit excited by different designs, especially when they're inspired, like this one. But I have been suffering from a few buzzes on some open strings. Yeah, like here. But it sounds great. This is a solid top. It's Chinese acacia, which is a bit like koa wood, but it's not koa wood, is it? It's Chinese acacia. But very nice. Oh, here we go. This is this is something else. It's a little pineapple ukulele that's also got a keyboard attached. So, and also a sound system attached to it. Why on this one? Because it's funny to attach lots of gear to a little pineapple ukulele that actually looks just like a pineapple. Quite amusing. I mean, for me anyway. Oscar Schmidt. I've talked about the Baritone Oscar Schmidt, and this is the Tenor Oscar Schmidt. It's a beautiful ukulele, and it's not glossy, which means it's quite nice for the camera. It doesn't reflect the light in the way the very glossy ones do. This is matte finish, and it's got a lovely design. I actually prefer my ukuleles without the plastic bind here between the sheets of wood. But this one works out quite nicely. I quite like the sound. Very enjoyable, but I am going to try and change the strings to sugar strings, which have much more clarity, as I think this fine ukulele could do well with that. My all-time favorite ukulele, actually, probably because I don't have it anymore, was the Oscar Schmidt OU8T, which was the ukulele that I had on my road trips throughout Eastern Europe, but that disappeared from a car one time, so that's not here today. This is an entry price concert from the website Thomann. This is their house brand called Baritone. I did bossa nova with this because it had nice wide spaces between the strings. It's got a very wide neck, and it's just comfortable to play those tricky things up the fretboard for bossa nova. So that's what I use for those tutorials. Maybe you've seen me using that. Oh, and this one, Ukulele. This one connects to an app, and it lights up to show you what chords you should be playing. So I also use it because I think the design is funny, but I haven't charged it in a while. As I said in the video talking about this ukulele, it's really something for beginners, so I'd be very happy to lend it or give it to a beginner. Okay, let me go through these quite fast now. This is all solid Acklot. It's the cheapest solid top, or no, all solid ukulele that you can find. They're very nice. It sounds very good. I used it in a concert and it did the job. And I like that it looks quite simple. A little wide for my liking, but that's just me being very picky. This is a plastic ukulele that lights up. You may have seen me using that in one of the videos. It sounds alright, considering it's all plastic. Makes you think maybe wood's overrated. This one is my 8 stringer, but it doesn't have a high C or a low G at the moment. I changed it so that I could use it for tutorials. So there we go, that's the Freshman ukulele. It's a tenor size and it's got 8 strings. And I need to find the low G and the high C again, so I can change this note to this note and this note to this note. Ah, this I like a lot. It's a very friendly little concert from Oscar Schmidt. It's quite glossy, so sometimes for the camera that's not great, but I mean for you, that if you're not filming yourself all the time. And it's got a very nice sound, very nice rounded sound. You may have seen this in a few tutorials. And this I had on an adventure. Going North was the adventure, and I had 2 Cloud Music ukuleles. That's the same brand as the pineapple that actually looks like a pineapple. And I was traveling with this and sat on it in a van, which means now you see it's a bit broken here, and that's a great way to get some percussion in. I need to tune it, probably. Actually, that's a good point. Where is my soprano that I took to Iceland and Canada. I don't know. Oh, here's 2 more ukuleles. This one I've never really played. It looks fine. I bought it because I think the bag looked cool on the picture. This is Irin, and this is Amun. I love spalted maple on ukuleles. It's my favorite, probably because the OU8T that I don't have anymore had that on its, you know, front and back and sides and headstock. So I got this one. So I like it a lot, but I did have a bit of an issue with some buzzing, which is what you get sometimes when you just order ukuleles without going through a store with people who really check them properly, straight from the manufacturing sort of place in China or whatever. Oh man, that was quite a few. And actually they're going to, maybe some of them, change hands because some of them will go for sale at a coffee surf place, cafe here in South Sweden, and you can buy them. So feel free to pick one and not all of them. I mean, not the Risa, for example, and the ones that I need still. Thank you so much for watching the little cloud music. Soprano must be upstairs somewhere. What can be big news is you telling us in the comments what your ukuleles are and sharing which ones you prefer. And actually, share also which one of these, it's a lot, you would like to have. It's interesting for me to know, and maybe actually you could have it. It's possible. You know, it's possible. See you soon for more, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this little tour. And did I forget any? No, I wouldn't be able to tell anyway. But we're all good. Yeah, probably I had a soprano aclot. Where's that gone? The solid soprano aclot. Well, it's the same as the tenor, really. Just smaller. Oh, last but not least, this is a tenor from Flight, who are the Slovenian company. And this ukulele is marvelous. It's got a special integrated sound system with reverb and stuff. So hopefully you'll be seeing much more of this ukulele once I have to leave this house at the end of the month, which is why a lot of these ukuleles are going to find new homes. And hopefully this one will make it onto the van for the next adventure. Spoiler alert. See you soon. Bye bye.